The Titanic, a name that conjures up images of opulence, ambition, and tragedy. You've heard the stories, watched the movies, and maybe even debated the myths. But what if I told you there's more to the Titanic's tale than meets the eye? Stick around, because today we're diving deep into the truth about one of history's most infamous ships. It was the early 20th century, a time of innovation, ambition, and bold dreams. In the bustling shipyards of Belfast, the RMS Titanic was born. Dubbed the Ship of Dreams, it was the largest moving object ever created by man. Imagine this. Over 882 feet long, 11 stories tall, and capable of carrying over 2,400 passengers. It wasn't just a ship, it was a floating palace. First-class passengers could dine on lobster in grand dining rooms, swim in a heated pool, or even send a letter from a functioning post office on board. But while first-class passengers lived in luxury, most of Titanic's passengers were immigrants dreaming of a new life in America. Their experience, let's just say it wasn't as glamorous. The famous claim, the Titanic was unsinkable. But here's the truth, they never actually called it that. The phrase came from a trade journal describing the ship's advanced safety features. Think of it like a series of Tupperware containers. If one filled with water, the others would stay dry. But here's the catch, those containers weren't sealed at the top. Once water spilled over, it was game over. April 14, 1912. A calm, freezing night in the Atlantic. At 11:40 p.m., disaster struck. The Titanic hit an iceberg, scraping along its starboard side. At first, passengers didn't panic. After all, the ship seemed steady. But below deck, icy water poured into 6 of the ship's 16 compartments. Imagine waking up to freezing water at your feet. Panic set in as lifeboats were lowered. But here's a shocking fact. There were only enough lifeboats for about half the people on board. Many lifeboats weren't even filled to capacity. Some left with just a handful of people while hundreds were left behind, stranded on a sinking ship. Let's bust a few myths. Was the band really playing Nearer My God to Thee as the ship sank? Maybe. Survivors reported hearing music, but no one can agree on the exact song. And did the ship break in half as shown in the movie? Actually, yes. The Titanic split before plunging into the icy depths. Out of over 2,200 people on board, more than 1,500 perished in the freezing waters. It remains one of the deadliest maritime disasters in history. The Titanic's story isn't just about tragedy, it's about lessons learned. Today, strict safety regulations exist because of that fateful night. Lifeboat requirements, iceberg monitoring, and emergency drills all stem from the Titanic. And while the Titanic rests 2 miles below the surface, its legacy continues to fascinate and inspire. So, what do you think? Was the Titanic a cautionary tale of overconfidence, or a symbol of human ambition? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and remember, the truth is sometimes more incredible than the myths.